looks like the same raccoon, but it's actually built differently. It doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, the women's version might actually fit you better. These are the men's and the women's version of the North Face Recon. At first glance, they look like identical, same design, same vertical capacity, but here's the question. Why do some people find one of them noticeably more comfortable than the other? And it's not for a reason you might think. Side by side, the women's version actually looks smaller, almost like a different backpack, especially from the back. And yes, there are real difference here. I'll show you exactly what they are, but first let's actually measure them. The dimensions are slightly different. The women's version is a bit shorter, a bit narrower, and a bit less bulky overall. So the real difference is not the capacity, it's the shape and how the backpack actually fits. And that's exactly what I wanted to test next. Let's pack them. Starting in the laptop compartment. It's nicely padded and feels structured on both. At the bottom, there's an extra protection in both cases, so the laptop doesn't hit the ground. I'm using a 16-inch laptop for this test, and as you can see, it fits really well in both. Moving on the main compartment, I'm using packing cubes here. They're compression cubes, quite spacious, so they fit a good amount of stuff. Next, sandals, a clear toiletry bag, and a portable rain jacket. And that's everything packed. Both fit the same, no real difference here. Now the top pocket. It's not very deep, but really convenient for quick access items. Inside there is a separate slit that works well for a wallet and a couple of small pockets for extra organization. There's also a dedicated spot for a pen. For this test, I'm using it for things like notebook, wallet, passport, and other small essentials. Sunglasses go in a separate soft-lined pocket underneath. Next, water bottles pockets. I'm using a 21-ounce bottle. Fits fine, but bigger probably won't. Other side, a standard umbrella. The pockets don't stretch, so there's a size limit. Same in both. Next, a front mesh pocket. It stretches, so it works well for bulkier items. I'm putting my jacket in here. Fits without any issues. Very convenient. That's not all, guys. At the bottom there are two straps. They're useful for attaching extra gear. For this test, I'm securing a yoga mat. It's fairly large, but the straps hold it in place really well. And before moving on, a quick standing test. Both backpacks stand on their own, same in both. Next, a water-resistant test. I'm spraying both backpacks evenly. After about 5 minutes, checking the result. Water resistance is actually pretty decent. I'd say around a 6.5 out of 10. It can handle light rain for a while, but it's not fully waterproof. Now, let's take a closer look at the fit. This is where the real difference shows. I'm showing both versions side by side. Both have chest and waist straps, but they sit differently. The men's version sits a bit lower and feels longer with a slightly wider fit. The women's version sits higher, feels more compact, and follows the shape of the body a bit better. You can see the difference in how the straps sit on the shoulders and across the chest. This isn't really about men or women, it's about body proportions. Height alone doesn't decide the fit. In my case, even though I'm tall, the women's version just feels more comfortable. It really comes down to how it sits on your torso and how the straps line up. So it's about the fit, not the label. Even though this backpack works really well for everyday carry, school, college, work, and of course travel, it's really that hybrid type of backpack. But there is no luggage pass-through, which is a bit disappointing. So, if you're exploring options, I also have a recent video of the North Face Borealis, which might be worth checking out. See you guys!